Today we will talk about, as you guys know already, Google Hotel Ads and free booking links. And these topics are going to be explained by us at Slope and Nicholas at Google. So that's why we're so excited about this event. So what is this webinar about? How did we structure this event? So we decided to break it down in four topics. Our first one is an introduction to Google's travel meta search engine. So we want to better describe and understand how this powerful tool works and give you some insights about this tool and how you can use it to advertise and to sell rooms for your hotel. Then we will move to the importance of Google My Business, the Google My Business card, which is something that hotels not always care about and not always have spent enough time to polish and to clean it up and to make it look sharp and good. So I will explain you why it's so important to have a tidy Google My Business profile. Then how does Google Hotel Ads work? So we will guide you through the steps that you need to follow to accomplish to create a Google Hotel Ads campaign. And the last, the juicy part, are insights of the awesome new feature, free booking links. So we will explain how the free booking links work. Who are we? So I am Marco Matarazzi, and I am the CEO at Slope. And with me today, we have Nicolas Toussart. I will call him Nico. He goes for Nico. So sometimes I will refer to him like Nico. So, and he's the global business development travel at Google. And we decided to split this event in two. I will take care of describing the first three steps, the introduction to the meta search, the importance of Google My Business, and how does Google Hotel Ads work. I will leave the last part, the free booking links part, to Nico, and then we will also we'll spend some time doing Q&A. So we have already gathered some questions from our customers at Slope and people that on the social media were asking for more information. So we will leave quite some time for Q&A. And also Nico will describe some other tools that Google put together for hoteliers and for the travel industry in general. So this is our plan for today. This is how we will approach and tackle this topic. Step 0, why does an hotel need a connectivity partner? I heard this question already a couple of times, and I thought this was an interesting topic to start with. So when a hotel sells its rooms on Booking.com or Expedia or other OTAs, a connectivity partner is not needed. You can just log in to the extranet, create your profile, sign the contract, and start selling rooms directly from the portal without having necessarily to connect with a partner. You could have a channel manager to synchronize your availability, rates, and so on, but it's not mandatory. In this context of Google Meta Search, it's different. And I want to explain to you how does it work? So what are the steps that you need to do and how easy it is to start selling on Google? So we prepared a little schema. The first block, the one at the bottom, are the tools, the software tools that any hotel uses. We identified the three main blocks. The first one is the property management system, the PMS at the center. And then we need a channel manager and a booking engine. If you are a customer of Slope, you'll know that all these software solutions are integrated into a single platform. So the power of having a single platform in this context is evident because it will allow you to synchronize with Google seamless without any transparently, let's say, so very easily. And this happens through a little application, which is called Google Hotel Center. Google Hotel Center is something that the partners, for example, Slope, which is a Google partner, has to manage. And it's a panel where we are able to insert all the customers that we have, hotels that use our software, and we list them in the Hotel Center. And the Hotel Center behaves as a hub of information where we send all the information about rates and so on about each hotel that wants to sell on Google's meta search. So on the top right corner, we identified two green squares. The first one is hotel ads, and the second one is the interesting part, free booking links. So the free booking links is very simple, because once you ask your connectivity partner to be present in Google's meta search in the free booking links area, you don't need to do anything. All the heavy lifting, all the work is done by the connectivity partner, is done by us. We will take care to connect your PMS channel manager directly with Google, and Google will show your prices in the meta search. And all the links, all the clicks that you obtain are free. So basically you get traffic to your booking engine without having to pay any commission or anything. In the block above, we have hotel ads. So what you could do within the meta search is advertise. You can invest budget, you can invest money to be more visible. And this can be done on Google Ads. So you need to log in into Google Ads, your Google Ads account, and from there, create a campaign. It's part of this presentation to explain how Google Ads work and how you can actually create a campaign. It's also part of this presentation to explain how the free booking links work. So this is why this webinar is so cool, in my opinion. What are the duties of the connectivity partner? What does Slope need to do to create this connection with Google? So our first duty, our first task is to ensure the correctness of the data stream. We need to send information to Google, and we need to make sure that this information is provided quickly and it needs to be accurate. What kind of information are we sending for each hotel that is connected with Google? We're sending lodging types and rate plans. We're sending prices, availabilities, restriction, supplements and fees. So all this information is sent to Google and stored in Google to make sure that the meta search has enough information to show the final customer the information it needs to actually book a room at your hotel. And then, second step, we need to offer a landing page. When a traveler goes into the meta search and finally selects your hotel, the reservation is finalized, and we will see this very soon on your landing page, which is the booking engine. So that's the step where the reservation is finalized. This is, I prepared these two slides just to give you some insights on how the connectivity works practically from a technical standpoint. But what is this Google meta search? How it works? We need to start from the basics, because the attendees today are Slope customers, Slope prospects, consultants, and so on. So we have a variety of people listening today, and not everybody knows the details of how a meta search works and what a meta search is. So we need to start from there. Google Travel is the meta search. And if you go to the website www.google.com/travel, you will see a page similar to this one, which is translated in Italian Viaggi. In here, you can search for a destination or a specific hotel. In my screenshot here, I'm viewing the details of a specific hotel. So I search for Italy, Sicily, Siracusa, and within Siracusa city, I identified Hotel Villa Sole, which is, of course, a sample hotel that we created for the purpose of this webinar. Of course, it's just a screenshot. It does not exist. The first block, the one highlighted at the top in blue, has the basic information about the hotel. So images, reviews, website, address, and so on. And soon we will see how to manage this information and how to change this information in Google. The second block, the block number 1, highlighted in red, it's the Google Hotel Ads block. To be visible there, you need to do advertising, you need to invest budget and to create a campaign. The block number 2, the green one at the bottom, is the free booking links area. And we will also see how to show up with your booking engine right there. And that's the core of this webinar. So what is an hotel meta search? How does it work? So a meta search is a portal, a website, for example, the one that we just saw, that behaves like a search engine. The meta search aggregates information and results that are coming from different channels. Let's say you're looking for Hotel Villa Sole, and the meta search takes care of contacting OTAs, bed banks, your booking engine, or other meta search to gather the prices and availabilities. All these results are put into a list and are gathered in real time. I decided to underline real time because this concept is very important. Every time a traveler gets to the page of a meta search, as in real time, all these requests are sent across different OTAs, bed banks, and your booking engine as well. So instantly, all these requests will be sent out, and it's important for all these providers to respond to Google very quickly. Because if you don't respond quickly, the user will have a bad experience. And Google is very careful about user experience. So we, as Slope, as partners, we need to make sure that our infrastructure is able to respond, to reply very, very quickly to Google's request, and also to support heavy load of requests. Same thing for all the other partners like Booking.com, Expedia, and all the other OTAs. So this is the basics. These are the basics of how a meta search works. But what are the differences between an OTA and a meta search? How are these two services, these two things different? The main difference is that a meta search does not sell room. You don't sell rooms on a meta search, you just do advertising. So what's a meta search? It's a portal that connects the customer with the hotel. So you link the customer with the hotel, and the reservation that the hotel obtains are all direct reservation. You all know that when you receive a reservation from Booking, you do not have the real email address of the customer, because that's a customer that is intermediate by Booking.com, for example. In the case of a meta search, this does not happen, because what you do, you only do price advertising. This means that you invest budget and money to advertise your price, to make sure that the customer sees that your double room, for example, for a given date is 100 euros. And it's cheaper compared to the same room for the same date on a different portal, on a different website. In this little schema here at the bottom, you can see the user that on Google Hotel Ads finds your hotel, and then is forwarded, let's say, it reaches your booking engine where he or she can complete the reservation. So the reservation is always completed on your booking engine. You only pay, you invest budget to obtain that customer. But at the end of the day, that's your customer. So, okay, where are the prices displayed? We spoke about the travel portal. So www.google.com/travel, the website that we saw before, but prices are not shown only on that portal, which not many users still know about. But prices are shown on Google search results, on Google Maps, and also on Google Assistant. Google Assistant, it's interesting. We will see how it will evolve in the future. But what is very important right now is the Google search results and Google Maps. In fact, if you look for your city and you look up for your hotel, you will see that probably even if you're not advertising on a meta search, prices will show up, because OTAs and other meta searches are actually investing budget to show up for you on these channels. The first screenshot on the left, the Google search result, it's the bar that appears on the right side when you search for Hotel Villa Sole on Google. And you can see the list of the prices on the different channels. So why it's so important to Google My Business? So why are we talking today about Google My Business? Google My Business, it's a tool that is provided by Google that behaves sort of as an extranet, the one that is provided by Booking or Expedia, for example, where you can manage the information about your hotel. So you can manage your working hours, you can add photos, you can add videos, you can add descriptions, and you can add services, and so on. The screenshot that you see here is the Google My Business card of Slope, our company. So each business, it could be a restaurant, it could be a hotel, it could be a company, software company like Slope, for example, has to manage and to keep up to date its Google My Business profile. And what does it mean to keep it up to date? It means that we need to, okay, let's see. We need to provide correct email address and phone number. We need to make sure that the localization, the pin on the map, is correctly placed. And we can use Google My Business to view statistics, to see how many people find us on Google. And we can provide very accurate business information. So the services that we have and so on. And all this information is used by Google to render your card on the meta search. If you don't have a clean and up-to-date Google My Business account, you won't show up very nicely on the meta search. And this is, of course, suboptimal. It's bad. So that's why you need to keep it up to date. And that's why we consider this part of Google a prerequisite to use Google's meta search. If you're not the owner of your own card, you can claim the ownership. This means that anybody can create a card for a business, but you, if you are the owner of that business, you can claim the ownership. Claim the ownership means that you then have access to the extranet. And from that extranet, you can add, edit, and change the information, photos, reviews, and services. Responding to reviews, it's important, and it's important on many levels because it gives the impression to the user that you're actually caring about what people are saying about your company. So answering to reviews, it's important, and also improves in some cases the ranking of your card and the ranking of your website, because those are all valuable keywords for Google. So this is a sort of to-do list that we prepared for you that you can print and double check to make sure that you check and mark all these points that are all very, very important, more important than you can think. And how does Google Hotel Ads work? So we understood what a meta search is. We understood that we need a clean Google My Business card to advertise on a meta search. Now we need to understand how to create a paid campaign, how to invest budget to show up in the meta search. And first of all, you need to access your Google Ads account. So if some hoteliers don't have access to their Google Ads account, they have marketers that take care of this task. It's wise and it's recommended to have access to your own Google Ads account just for the sake of it, or just to look at the reports and so on. But make sure that you have access to Google Ads. Once you are able to log in, the first thing you need to do is to connect your account with your partner, with your provider. For example, Slope in the specific case of this webinar. So you need to link your Google Ads account with the partner's hotel center, so with Slope. To do so, it's very simple. You need to go into the settings page, and from there, link Google Hotel Center to Google Ads. You need to enter the code that is provided by the partner, and that automatically will send a request to Slope that will accept the connection. This way, you remember in the first step, we spoke about the data stream, the flow of information from Slope, your property management system, to Google. So by doing this connection, Google has all the pieces in place to allow you to create your first campaign. Your first campaign that needs to be of a specific type, hotel type. So here in the screenshot, I know that it's small, but you can see at the bottom that there is a blue square that says hotel. So you can create an hotel campaign only if you have first connected your Google Ads account with a partner. When you connect the Google Ads account with a partner, this little block hotel will show up, and it could take up to 24 hours to show up. Once it's available, you can create your first campaign, hotel campaign, by selecting different parameters. For example, the bidding strategy, the budget that you're willing to invest, the area that you want to cover. It could be Italy, it could be another region in Europe, or wherever you want. And this is why in this area, it's important to be to know how these things work. And usually I recommend following the advice of a consultant. It could be a revenue consultant or a marketing consultant, but defining the right budget and the right bidding strategy is not trivial. So we would recommend following the guidance of a partner, advisor, sorry, of an advisor to do things right. This because the bidding strategies that you can follow on Google Ads are two types: cost per click or percentage fee. The cost per click means that you can decide how much budget you want to spend on each click you obtain to your booking engine. And we're talking about the Google Ads, the part which is not free. So you need to pay some money for each click you obtain that then brings the user to your booking engine. Or if you don't want to pay for each click, you can specify a percentage fee, for example, 10%, which is the amount you're willing to pay Google once you actually obtain the reservation. So once the reservation is completed, done, it's on your books, let's say. And this is how you can advertise in Google Hotel Ads. So if I go back to the slide that I showed you before, just to summarize before ending off to Nico. So we spoke about block number 3, how to configure your card using Google My Business. Then block number 1 is the advertised results. Of course, they show up higher compared to the organic results below. And we understood how to specify the budget to show up, to advertise, to do price advertising in this section number 1 highlighted in red, the Google Hotel Ads. So I think I'll end it off to you, Nico.
There you go. Thank you. Can you hear me well?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Sure, that should be easy. We have only 2 here for this section, but I also added a lot of other resources. I can just glimpse into that, but I want to make sure we have some time for questions, which apparently we will. And so first off, thank you for having me. Really appreciate it. Sorry for not speaking Italian, even though I might, look like I could. It's definitely out of my competences right now, but thanks to my friends here at Slope, maybe I'll make some progress. Happy to take advices from any one of you. In the meantime, I appreciate being able to talk to you about a new feature that we released last week at ITD. It's very close to my heart because I've been working on this project for a few months with our product team. So I'm Nico. I work at Google for a few years. I'm pretty new to the travel space because it's been 2.5 years. I joined the hotel team at Google. And I'm happy to present to you this new feature that we released recently, which is called free booking links. To step back quickly and just to provide you a bit of context on why we are talking to you about that, why it's important. We all know that with COVID, there's been a dramatic change in the behavior of our users. And necessarily the traffic and the revenue were way below what we've seen in the previous years. So we didn't really sit on that at Google, and we thought, okay, what can we do and invest in to make sure that we can help the industry to bring back to a healthy level of business when the demand picks back up. And we didn't launch this product because of COVID or to just fix things up. It could be a bit ambitious, but we thought it was a good time to launch it if we had such a solution ready. The idea is to provide more options for all our partners on the platform today to benefit from visibility at no cost. So what it means is that regardless of your status, if you're already a Google Ads client, or if you're not a Google Ads client, what we want to do is to make sure that when a user searches for hotel, he can find the prices and the availability for that hotel. Even though you're not able to spend on ads, or you never spend on ads, that's fine. We just want to make sure that we make that connection, which is the core of the mission of the meta search, as Marco presented. Quite honestly, the mission of Google is still to organize the world information and make it accessible. And we thought there was a missing piece here because we were showing prices only for four providers, even though we might have 100 providers providing those rates for your hotel, including a direct rate or a direct link. So what we've come up with is a new free way to reach potential customers. It's live as of this last week, and we'll begin to show free booking links for all hotels we get rates from, which means if you are live with Slope or your connectivity providers that we work with already, as soon as you send prices, they will be visible to all Google users. That's the new feature, and that's different from what we've done in the past, where unless you have a live campaign and you win one of these 4 slots, then you would be visible. Now you can be visible regardless of your status. So free booking links is the same format, more or less, as regular hotel ads. And that's the reason is because the source we use is the same source of rates. It's actually Hotel Center. So basically, if you set up your rates in Hotel Center directly or through your partner like Slope, the rates will be usable for running a Google Ads campaign if you set up one, or it will be usable to appear on free booking links. It can actually be both, because ads and free booking links are together on the prices page of the hotel. You can see that as the same organization as we have on regular search, the regular search page, where you have ads on top of the search page and organic results below that. So it's the same type of organization on the prices page for a hotel. You will have still the ad slots, which remains, and it doesn't go away. Nothing changes here. There are still 4 slots for ads. But below that, you will have the incremental links for free booking links. The design right now is 2 links by default. And if you expand, you can get below the fold an additional series of links with all the prices and the providers that send us those prices for your hotel. So while free booking links are absolutely free on Google, there might be other costs associated with that. For example, if your connectivity provider takes a commission on the number of bookings or a flat fee for activating Google Channel. But as soon as you activate Google Channel, both for ads and free booking links would be totally free on Google side. Obviously, free booking links doesn't represent the whole opportunity. A lot of the traffic is going through ads. Users like ads, they click on ads, and there's extensions that we can use and targeting options that you can use that makes hotel ads very effective at driving valuable qualified traffic and generate bookings. It's been more than 7 or 8 years we run hotel ads. It's a very successful product. It's very effective at generating bookings. So we see that as for existing Google Ads clients, free booking links is a very good way to expand your visibility and augment your results on Google. For clients that are new to Google Ads and have never been on Google, we think it's a very good way to step up and experiment Google as a channel to see what we can get out of it. Just to manage expectations though, free booking links is still complementary in terms of traffic. It doesn't represent the majority of traffic you will get from Google in most cases. It's very unlikely if you run both ads and free booking links. If you only run free booking links, you can expect that the percentage of traffic you get from these links will be way below the half point that you get from overall traffic at Google. Anecdotally, some platforms have shared that they get between 3 to 4% before we launch in the beta phase. Now that we launched to 100% of the traffic, you probably can get maybe around 10% of your overall traffic for free through free booking links. Again, don't take my word on that. This is purely anecdotal. It's just as an illustration purpose. but you get the idea. You won't get the full traffic potential from Google just running free booking links. However, it's still incremental to what you get before. Before we were providing zero traffic for free. Now you can get some traffic for free using these free booking links. And then you can go into Google Ads very easily by setting up a campaign, because everything else would be already working out. We get the rates, you get GMV, Google My Business updated. You can set up everything for free, and then once you're ready, you can start running your ads to get more effectiveness with Google. I'll pause there just to see if there's some intermediate questions. I'm done with the presentation, by the way, regarding this feature. So happy to.
Yeah, we have a few questions, Nico. So I can read them to you. So the first one is from Katya. Good morning, Marco and Nico. I understand Google Hotel Ads is a tool dedicated not to holiday apartments. Is there any upgrade you are planning for this category? Many thanks.
That's a great question. Thank you, Katya. We do have a product called vacation rental. So if that's what it means, holiday rentals, if you rent apartments or accommodation that are not necessarily a hotel with a front desk, with a 24/7 receptionist and other requirements that makes it available on Google Hotels, then you can actually go through Google Vacation Rental. And the product is actually expanding and evolving quite quickly. So we are very keen to get you on VR as well. So we're happy to consider you probably through your connectivity partner as well, because we have existing relationship with partners to get your rates. So it's up to you. You can submit your request on, we have an inbound form, so you can submit your request for vacation rental through that same link. I'm happy to share after the call.
Awesome. We'll look into that. Then we have more questions. One is, so I assume that I can also advertise on Google Hotel Ads, paid ads, and also on the free booking link section. Is this correct?
Yes. So we don't call free booking links advertising because it's free, but you can indeed generate bookings directly or direct traffic, both from paid ads and the free booking links. So you have paid booking links, so to say, which is hotel ads, and free booking links, which is organic traffic.
Okay, Stefano is asking, hi everyone, are the texts that are displayed in the free link module standard, or can they be changed? And if yes, from where? Through Slope or in some other way?
Good question. There's a standard format, both for ads and for free booking links, which is pretty much the same when it comes to prices. You can't change anything on free booking links, and you can't change nothing as well on paid ads. The difference is you get extensions on ads. So for example, you have room extensions. You can show up your rooms. You can add call out or snippets, call out snippets, like a promotion, for example, call out. So these are the things you can do when you run an hotel ads campaign. You can add information there, and you can basically also choose more or less, or try to get the best slots, the most visible slots on top of the ad results. I can just break down basically the way ranking works here. Maybe that's relevant. On free booking links, you can't tweak the ranking. Ranking is we don't disclose the way ranking is done for organic links, just because of our honest result policy. So basically, we don't want anyone that pays to have more information than someone that doesn't pay to get a better visibility on Google. Everyone is treated the same way at the same page here. Part of the mission is also to be universally relevant and accessible. So that's the honest policy. So you can't tweak the ranking on free booking links, but I can just say that we value the stuff that we value for search or as well. The quality, the accuracy of the information or the data you provide is key. The performance of your links is certainly some signals that is valuable to prove the quality of your participation and makes it relevant for our users. So these are the kind of things you can consider to optimize. For example, we've worked with partners to make sure that your website is working well, your booking engine is working well, on mobile, on desktop, in different languages, etc.
There was a question regarding costs. How much does it cost to connect? Free booking links are free on the Google side. This means that you don't need to pay anything to Google. What you need to pay is the connection between the partner, Slope, and Google. So there's a fixed fee, which is similar to what you usually pay with a channel manager to connect a channel. So that's how it works. And you don't pay any commissions, percentage commissions on the reservations you get, which is very interesting. How do I track how many visits and reservation I get through the free links? So basically, to understand how many reservations you get, you need to work on the tracking of your Google Analytics, for example, and that way you can track the source of your reservation, where it came from. The booking engine should be able to support this thing, and I think this is a metric which is very important, because you need to understand how many reservation, how much budget and money you're making from each channel. This is a good approach in general. Let's say you are creating ad campaigns for your website, you're creating Google Hotel Ads campaign, you have the free booking links, you're advertising on, I can say this now because Nicolas is off, on Bing or Facebook or other channels. You need to understand the return on investment for each channel you're investing from. So that's very important. And in the booking engine, with the integration of Google Analytics, should be able to satisfy and to make sure you get that metric. I think I need help from Andrea to jump in the call and start reading some of these questions and trying to respond. Otherwise, Andrea, can you help me out?
Yeah, I think we can start reading some of them.
So the one from Stefano, he was asking, can you hear me, Andrea?
Yes, I can. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, no, because Stefano asked, how does the ranking work in the free module link? And Nico replied to that, it depends also on the performance of the partner and other factors that are still not official, let's say, not completely official. Then did you identify another question, Andrea?
So the question was from Dario, is what do you mean with travel company is eligible to participate? So does it work also for travel agencies and tour operators? Thanks.
Sure, thank you. It's open to everyone. So any partner that sends us prices, an OTA, a meta search, an aggregator, a direct hotel, an IP, an integration provider, a connectivity provider, everyone that is able to send us rates is eligible to participate in free booking links.
So I think this connects to a question from anonymous guest, which is how does a single independent hotel synchronize directly without an integration partner to Google Hotel Ads and the free booking links?
Yeah, so we do have the ability for hotels to connect their prices and their feed directly through Hotel Center. However, it can be a lengthy process because obviously there's a lot of requests we receive every day. So it can take between a few weeks to a few months and sometimes even more for a single hotel. Also, we have specific requirements in terms of quality. You need to have an excellent price accuracy, for example, and there's also some availability and bandwidth dependencies because of that. So if you do a good job at providing great connectivity, it will work very good for you if you have the resources to develop on our API. The documentation is available online in our developer resources, so you can find it easily. We are happy to take anyone through this channel. But again, if you go through an existing partner, then you can basically go live overnight because the connectivity is already established. It's evaluated, it's good quality, and you get the services on top of that, like the website optimization, the traffic reporting, and the different mechanisms to make sure that you can also benefit from other products, including Google Ads. So we are open to all the models. We work with integration partners as well as direct clients. But obviously, the going with an existing partner spare you the development of the API, and you can go on Google faster.
Yeah, my 2 cents on this, the integration is not very easy. So I think that if you are an independent hotel, it's best to go through a partner. I mean, of course, we are a partner and we push in that direction, but it's not trivial. You need to go through a lot of iterations, and Google is very, very picky. And of course, it will make sure that everything matches up correctly, of course. So it's not easy. It can be done, I think, as Nico said. So another
just
question.
maybe as a follow-up to that, we are working on a solution that would resemble an extranet, but so we are not there yet. It's not available for now. An extranet would be probably a solution for small, independent, unique properties. If you have just a few rooms, it's manageable. But beyond that, if you have many rooms or even multiple properties, it's definitely better to consider an API integration and possibly through an integration partner that has the connectivity optimized for you.
Oh, this is great news. It's very, very interesting work in progress. Absolutely. Then Sarah is asking, is there a support number I can call to ask for more information about Google Hotel Ads and or free booking links?
There's no support for free booking links beyond the public resources available. We do have a support line for sure in the cases of any issue, but we don't provide support for organic results on Google, whether it's on search or hotel booking links. If you're a Google Ads customer, you have certainly a service level agreement. And we have different channels to address your request or your needs. But that's a business solution. So it's a different approach. We of course provide support for clients, but when it comes to organic solutions, again, to make sure that we have a universal and fair policy, we don't provide any kind of support on this model.
Okay, makes sense. Carlo is asking, so try to summarize, why is the free booking links only showing the cheapest rate and not all rates as the first result in Google Hotel Ads? So the first result, usually it shows more room types, but all the free booking links have just one price, which usually is the cheapest rate available for that specific lodging. Can you help us with this, Nico?
Yes and no. So I'll try to answer the question if I understand it well. What's showing up first in the results is tied to ranking. Ranking on organic, we don't disclose how it's done. It's the secret sauce, and it's on purpose. It's not necessarily only the price. Obviously, price might be an important signal if you just put yourself in the shoes of a user, and we are all users at some point when we book a hotel. Price is a deciding factor, but it's not the only one. You might want to be, it may be the experience on the website, the fastness of the website, or the ability of the partner to process your payment and your booking, or there's many factors coming into play when you want to book a hotel, right?
Yeah.
So of course, price is definitely something we consider. I can disclose how we look at the ranking on ads because this is actually something we disclose. So on ads, you have the quality score and the bid. So obviously, the higher you pay, the higher the chances are you get the top slot, which is just the logical mechanism. The quality score takes into account your click-through rate and conversion rate. So that's where making sure you have a good past performance on Google Ads is important. Also making sure you have a good landing page and you can really process the bookings properly is very important. And finally, you need also to consider all the information you send to us through non-bookable data. This is not considered in the ranking itself, but it's very important. For example, if you want to avoid to lose some opportunity to show up, so Google My Business has to be updated, for example, if you want to make sure that all your information on your property is up to date. This is not tied to the ranking itself, but if we don't match the hotel, it won't show up at all. So it's definitely a prerequisite as well.
I think what Carlo was saying is to show different rates. Let's say you have a non-refundable, half board, full board, and so on. So all these rates, you only show in the meta search one rate, which is always the cheapest one. And he's not talking about the ranking. And he's asking why, and if is there any way to show more rates.
So we show a default rate for a search. If you don't, for example, if you don't change the date of your search, or if you don't change the number of people, we will show the cheapest option for a two people, 1 bedroom accommodation type. So that's the way it works. That's the baseline. So everything is considered with the same standard when it comes to offering booking options.
Okay, I think we covered pretty much most of the questions. Should we move on with the presentation, Nico, and then eventually get to more questions at the end? The next
happy to. I don't think we'll have the time to cover everything, because I thought it would be useful in the light of what you presented to share with you guys a travel marketing toolkit that we put up, which gather many different tools that Google makes available publicly for free. Some of it is to analyze your market. So you have Google Trends, for example, which you might be familiar with, to follow up what people are talking about or searching for. You have Market Finder, which is typically to see if you can export or get exposure to specific type of clientele in other countries. Test My Site is basically a way to assess if you're ready to process bookings in the best way. Again, conversion rate is really the goal here. Optimizing your conversion rate really gives very good results. You have specific mobility reports based on the COVID-19 information that is live and refreshed information. So you can see what our markets, where our markets open or close. And finally, we developed 2 new tools that I wanted to share with you, actually 3. Hotel Insight and Destination Insight that we launched in Italy actually a month ago, so just a few weeks. It's very new, it's very fresh. We launched it in Italy, so you might find easily resources back then. Hotel Insight and Destination Insights are tools to evaluate how you market your own inventory based on your local circumstances. So if you're a hotel in Veneto, you can look into Hotel Insights and Destination Insights to see what people are looking for when they want to book a hotel in Veneto. And you can see also what other hotels and other options are available for these users. So you can position your offering accordingly. So it's a marketing tool that can really help to refine your positioning, especially with regards to Google users. At the end, also, I wanted to share with you a new hotel guidebook that pretty much recaps everything that you can do to optimize your presence with Google and get the maximum exposure to Google users, generating the maximum number of bookings through different channels and different tools that are available for you, both free and paid solutions. Yeah, again, I don't think we'll have the time to go through all the tools or just experiment with them, but I would engage you to look at the deck we're going to share afterwards, and you have the link of every resources at the bottom of each slide, so you can look by yourself and start setting up your parameters and look into what's most interesting for you. Again, overall, I would say as a sort of a wrap up on my side, we do want to make sure that every hotel has the ability to show up to Google users at the time where we need it the most, and especially to make sure that when demand picks up and when things normalize, we can make the best job at providing you with valuable bookings and valuable traffic that you can get through these direct links. Hopefully this will be a compelling solution. We are very open to your feedback. So feel free to share back to Marco and the team at Slope with any feedback or questions you may have. I'm super happy to follow up with you separately and offline on that.
Awesome. Yes. So we will share the slides. So with all these people that subscribe to the webinar, so we will send you the PDF version. That's fine, Nico. Okay, I will send them. Thumbs up. That's cool. There is one last question that I forgot. Actually, is when will Book on Google be available again? Do you have any info about this?
Thank you. That's a very good opening to probably the next webinar, where we come up with a lot more news and new product announcement, I hope. So Book on Google is indeed still available, but we are revamping it in a way that would make it a bit more easy to use, especially for our partners. So I can't talk more about this right now, but you can expect some changes to come throughout the year. Same for Pay per Stay, which is a sort of a flat commission model that we are also working on as we speak. Also, extranet is something that we are working on, again, for the smallest and independent providers. And there's also a lot of things we're working on the ad side to simplify our ads offering and provide more options to augment your traffic from Google. So stay tuned. Hopefully we'll come back in the next webinar with a lot more news. For now, I'm super happy and proud to be sharing with you these opportunities we have created with Slope through this new connectivity partnership. So the API is open. Feel free to go back to your Slope counterparts to enable your rates to benefit directly from pre-booking links. Get this direct traffic for free on our side. And if you want to augment your visibility, you have all the other tools we mentioned, specifically Google Ads, which is super effective, and you can really fine-tune your traffic acquisition and your distribution thanks to all the tools we share. So hopefully this is useful. Stay tuned, and we'll come back for more.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Nico. Thank you for your insights, your info. There's so much going on, a lot of features coming up, a lot of investments on travel, and we are excited to be part of this innovation. So thank you once again, and thanks to all the attendees to the webinar. We will hopefully do another webinar in a few months or in a few quarters to discuss about all the new things that will pop up. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Marco, and see you, everyone, too.
Thank you. Bye, everybody. Have a good day. Ciao a tutti. Buon lavoro.